Greetings fellow Vita fans, this is James with PS Vita at 2 AM, coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. This channel is no stranger to covering the PlayStation Vita stores. Its ups, its downs, its highs, its lows. Wait, those are the same thing. I get it confused sometimes, there was a lot of lows. We've had a lot of glitches happen on the PlayStation Vita store throughout the years. Whether it be the search bar issues, new releases not showing up, the ABC categories not showing the correct games, which is still kind of a thing, images being broken, oh boy, a lot of images being broken. Now that I think about it, it's been pretty bad, hasn't it? It certainly hasn't been a perfect experience. Knock on wood. But, to Sony's credit, they have fixed a good amount of them. Not all of them, but a pretty decent amount. And as far as the PS TV store is concerned, it's probably better if we don't open that can of worms. Metal Slug 3 still just got released? And as many of you already know, since PlayStation Vita carts have been discontinued back a while back, Sony has stated that they want to go full blast with digital releases, aka our beloved store. And things have been chugging along quite well in that category, I might add. Since said announcement happened, we've had a plethora of digital releases coming out of the store. Many times on the weekly, multiple times a week. Rip Rodaleka Games, I still haven't forgot about you. However, through the month of September alone, just this last past month, I started to see some things that were kind of worrying, I guess. Things that made me think maybe the PlayStation Vita store won't be around for quite as long as we first thought, or at the very least won't be supported very much. And tell me what you think about these points I'm about to make down in the comment section below, if they worry you or not. Or maybe I'm just being apprehensive here. Or maybe I just had too much sugar in my coffee this morning. Be that as it may, here's what worries me. Back last week or so, as many of you may recall, Nicole got a physical release on the PlayStation Vita, and we collectors were jumping for joy. But for those people who prefer their games digitally, it was more of a bittersweet situation. This is what East Asiasoft had to say. Announcement: this Thursday, which was last week, at 11 AM Eastern Time, pre-orders open for at Play Asia for limited editions of the mystery visual novel dating life sim Nicole for hashtag PS Vita. They left a link on there where you can purchase said game, which is hence sold out, like really fast. But the final thing that they had to say on their post was kind of odd. Note that this release is physical only and will be limited to 1,200 units. Now when they say physical only, meaning that the Vita port that this game got is only going to be able to be available as such and will be skipping the PS Vita store. In fact, I dare say that that statement alone actually overshadowed the whole Nicole release. Now when I first saw this, I was like, well that's kind of odd. But because I saw Rodaleka Games symbol on the bottom, I thought, well maybe this has to do with that whole Peggy situation that happened back some months ago, where they raised their fees and then Rodaleka Games just felt that the whole thing wasn't really worth doing on the Vita anymore. And I drank a lot of root beer that night. So I kind of just left it at that, went on with my day, had my sugar-filled coffee, you know, yada yada yada. It's not much, but it gets me through the day. Then, not much later after that, I saw something on Twitter that made me almost spill my sugar-filled coffee and made me think, this whole situation with Nicole, maybe it wasn't a one-time thing. And the post that started making me think this way came from, surprise surprise, Luke Bernard of all people. Yeah, you know, the guy that did hard copy releases for his Meko series, and who is still working hard on getting more games out to the Vita. But what he had to say on September 22nd, well, again, I guess I'll just say it was odd? That's the only way I can pretty much describe all these situations. Here's what he said. Death Tales, which is a game he's working on for the Vita, will launch first on hashtag PS Vita after Steam, but it will probably only be a limited physical. And here's the worrisome part. There is currently no plans for it to release digitally on the Vita. We'll let you know in advance when it launches so you have enough time to grab a copy. So I guess I'm sort of technically doing physical news now in this whole PlayStation Vita store might be doomed segment, but well, yeah, for those of you interested in that, well, there you go. So that's already two games in the span of 1 month that have been confirmed to not be coming on the PlayStation Vita store digitally. And this whole situation just doesn't make much sense, because I was always under the impression, as I mentioned back in the Nicole video, that you absolutely had to have a digital release to go along with your physical, at least when it comes to what Sony's rules go by. In other words, you can have a digital only release, but you can't have a physical only release. You have to have a digital to go along with the physical. It's like Ritz crackers without a heaping dollop of cheese. And these two games seem to be the exception to the rule. Not 100% sure what's going on here. Maybe it has something to do with Nicole getting a PlayStation 4 digital release, and since they're both under the same Sony umbrella, I'm pretty good with metaphors.
That's some straight up Miyagi.
They don't have to have a Vita version of that, but I don't think so. It's never worked that way up until this point. The whole thing's just weird. There are some things we can fall back on with this whole sticky situation. JoJo's pretty good with metaphors. One, even though some games might be skipping a digital release in the future, and for those who would love digital, they'll still have the ability to grab a physical hard copy of this game if it's something that they truly want. Yes, it'll be more expensive, but at least the option's there. And two, even if it does come as only a hard copy release, it's still a Vita port. We're still getting the game in some capacity. There is another possibility though, and this one is the one that worries me the most. Oh, I guess, and this counts as like number 3 now. I hope we don't get to the point where some developers are going to say, we have a PS4 version over here, and well, we got the option to make a Vita version of this game to put on the digital store, or even a physical only game, but I think we'll just stick with the PS4 version. I'm really hoping a situation like that doesn't happen in the future, because that could spell doom and gloom for our platform. Okay, I know all of this sounds bad, but on a positive note here, yet another one, we have a lot of games that are still planned for a digital release, so I don't see anything happening right away, or hopefully anytime soon. These were just some occurrences that I happened to see, two that happened very close together that made me think maybe this whole Nicole physical only wasn't just a coincidence. And it pressed me on to make a video topic like that to see what you guys all had to say. Plus, I wanted to have some sort of excuse to put in a Karate Kid reference somewhere on this channel. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think that these games passing on a digital release could mean that the PS Vita store would be in trouble in the future, or do you think that maybe these two things are just coincidences and that I'm making too much of a big deal out of it and that I should cut down on my caffeine or something? Hashtag I love McCafe. Let me know down in the comment section. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Reiko Star, Matt Fox, B Mystery, Makis Blob, Milk Sama, Nirarashi, David Ray, Skulshire Tugel TCG, Rodrigo Vera, Larry Anderson, Wendy K, Adam Thury, Aaron Swanson, Mario Cruz, Per Sterner, Heston Joseph, Jelle, E-Rock, Kevin Enright, Lori Sweeney, JR, Jared Haddo, Richard Cruz, Kyle Brooks, Joshua Williams, PS Vita S, Himdall Imbert, Saul Ramirez, Clayton Merlarkey, Adam Sondy, Gutter Drums, Phantom XRS, BMF, Hero Acer, Silica, Ronan Alganto, Burrs and Mystery, Tasha Monty, Juan N. Hermosillo, and Eric D. Witt. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then check out the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Oh, and to that individual who said on my last video where I talked about how the PlayStation Vita might be getting a new patent and saying that this whole channel is nothing but one giant roller coaster of emotions when it comes to PS Vita fans, yeah, I'm beginning to think you're right about that.